Hello everyone, this is Lawrence. I'm doing another vinyl video today on something very unusual. Um, I have been collecting vinyl, buying vinyl albums, record albums in a number of ways. Um, Teenager, I went out and bought albums. Fortunately, I kept them all. CDs came along and went to CD, put the vinyl in the storage, and broke them out once the revival of vinyl happened, and set up a vinyl room and started hitting the thrift stores um, to collect vinyl records. And also, I'm into the new 180 gram newer vinyl. Any new artists I like, I get their music on vinyl records, like the old days. But I want to talk about my thrift store vinyl buying, okay, which I got into about the time when vinyl was just starting to happen again, okay, 10 years or so. And I broke my old vinyl out. I started hitting the thrift stores and brought the rock and roll pop titles that I missed the first time around, because at this time people were just dumping their vinyls off at record stores. I mean, not record stores, thrift stores, and there they were. And then the vinyl revival happened, and things change. Um, the more desirable titles were marked up or brought to independent record stores instead. But that still left a nice eclectic sort of music available at thrift stores that were not marked up, and was there if you find them in good playable condition. And I have found some very, very, very interesting stuff. Here's this was a singer with Italian ancestry. He had a great voice and went off, had a career in music and singing, but finally retired, opened up a restaurant in New York, a famous one that celebrities and politicians went to. Now, that lasted many years for him. Nicola. So you find interesting stuff like that. What I want to show you is a stack of records that was put out by National Geographic Society. Here they are. I found these all at thrift stores, and they were not marked up. The quality of this product is really a top rate. National Geographic Society. I'm trying to do some research on these set of albums, and haven't found too much. So here's one of the covers. Songs of rebels and redcoats. Reenacted American Revolutionary War music. Okay. Then we have Cumberland Gap. Daniel Boone period as the settlers were expanding westward. Songs of the Cowboy. This is great. This is really great. Steamboats are coming. The Mark Twain and the whole, Mississippi, Missouri River steamboat thing. Turn of the century, good old summertime. The music of the of that time, the as we were entering the new century, and pretty much good time tunes. Dixieland Jazz. Now we're getting way into other parts of the world, and the first one is the open seas. The sounds, the songs and sounds of the sea. So you have a lot of a cappella, shipmates singing songs, which is really cool. Put them back in order. We're getting into the internationals now. Music of Spain. And this is my favorite album cover, and one of my favorite albums out of a lot. The Music of Trinidad. Beautiful color, lots of beautiful cover, lots of bright, open colors, and very festive music of that island. Okay. Then I got this, which is part of the National Geographic Society. This is actually put out by Smithsonian. The Music of the Age of Thomas Jefferson. And this is cool because they used authentic instruments of that time that's been restored. And it's mostly kind of chamber classical music, just 3-4 players in a room, playing socials events, house parties of that time. So I got all of those. Now I'm going to break one out and show you what they contain, because the packaging is great. This is all of these albums with the timeline, the historical music it reproduces were done by unknown artists, unknown to the general population, but within the folk or classical circles they were known. Okay, and we're not going to get into that. These are very let's just say they remain true to the origins of the music they were doing. Okay, so it's kind of a historical reenactment. Let's open this one up, the Cumberland Gap. And let me check my time. Okay, going on to 8 minutes. Okay, let's just take one. I'm going to walk you through what the packaging is like. I absolutely love this album. It's a talking story with music and dance of the life of Daniel Boone. From young boy, where Daniel is bragging about, I can shoot a squirrel from 100 yards away and just nicks its tail, and I could take a knife and sharpen it and throw it precise and all that. And the father of Daniel Boone said, well, son, don't you toot your own horn, let other people do that for you. So not to brag about yourself. When I listen to this album, there's a genuine love of Kentucky. They sing songs of Kentucky and its early pioneer culture. Look at this cover. You got a gentleman playing fiddle up here, another person playing a really neat early guitar type of instrument, early version, I guess. You got ladies dancing in the clothes they wore back then. Turn it back, the hunting frontier. Mostly the music, and a wagon train, the pioneering spirit. Then when you open it up, you got illustrations of early pioneering life, what it may have been like, what it was like in an illustration way. Another beautiful illustration here. And this is a famous pioneer painting here. Of the frontiers. I guess that's Daniel Boone in the front there. Just beautiful, going out into the set a new life for themselves. And then throughout these pictures, within these pictures rather, this land, Kentucky. So Kentucky is kind of the theme, and it has wonderful text about the music and the culture right there. Maps, more text, and then they have an inner sleeve you slide out with information on the music of the artists who contributed to this music. And you got titles like The Cherokees, Buckskin Buddy Reprise, Janie's Song, Wilderness Road, Chickawan, something, I can't pronounce that word. I am in the Cumberland Gap, Kentucky, my home, my sweet home. Daniel, Buckskin Buddies, Daniel and Rebecca's Wedding Song. There's a piece of music on here that really is a replica of a dance that may have been held in some village community in Kentucky in 1812, and it's really festive. If I can, I might put this on as the to close this video out. Okay, not something you wear. And all the packaging is all the same for the series. American Revolution. Oh, look at that! A famous battlefield painting of that war. Text. You got the three of the founding fathers forming the looking like they're reviewing the Declaration of Independence. A draft of it. Okay, so I'll just conclude with just a quick statement on each set. Here, you have music of the American Revolution. So a lot of drum rolls and flutes. Like they're marching off to battle. And folk songs and all of that. Cowboy songs. I don't really need to go into that. This is so great. The pictures in here are just wonderful. Just Western art. Early American Western art. And cowboy music, it's some like a group of ranch hands settling down for the night with a campfire. Someone whoops out a guitar, someone has a harmonica, and maybe a fiddle, and they have themselves a little nice little campfire sing along, you know, just to kind of wind down some whatever little bit of leisure time they had, because being a cowboy is a, a ranch help, herding cattle across the, 3 states. That's very demanding, very rough. Okay. American steamboat culture, wonderful pictures. I'll just show you one of them. And then disaster. Some of these steamboats really caught on fire, and people drowned or were burned. Isn't that wonderful? In a good old summertime. Show you a picture from here. What I noticed about the good old summertime, this album, the turn of the century and into the 1900s, America culture had really formed. It had become something. Baseball became the American pastime. Here's a poster of a car race, which continues today with NASCAR. Going to the beaches on the boardwalks. Look at that. How the women wore their clothes back then. Long dresses and the fancy umbrellas. And here, the women, how they dress in their fancy hats. And outdoors where, ice cream and refreshments are served. Right there's an ice cream truck. So the imagery is just great. Dixieland Jazz, I don't really need to go into that. Great pictures. Wonderful. The songs and sounds of the seas. Now, when I listened to this last night, I was thinking, how rough it was to be a sailor back there. Look at that. What dangers there were. How the hard work. It has a map right here. Crossing the ocean back then was very dangerous. A lot of ships sunk. And here's a picture of one of the wooden ships. Labeling all the parts of it. This has so much. I mean, you could sit here all day and just keep reading. So, anyway, we listen to these songs. They're about sea life, and look at that. What life is like on the sea, and you come into port. And I think there's one song about a very young boy. I mean, he's just a boy, 13, 14, and he goes to a seaport, and he just got paid. And it's not a lot of money. They didn't pay them anything. Yeah, but, enough to buy some food and a few provisions, I guess. But he gives all his money to this lady he falls in love with, and think it's going to be something serious, but it's not. She just wanted the money, and he goes back to the on his ship back to the sea, just a broken hearted, so that kind of stuff. Music of Spain, great pictures in this one. music, Trinidad, that's great. And of course the Thomas Jefferson, from the age of Thomas Jefferson, music from the age of Thomas Jefferson. Okay, this is very cool. But this is the Smithsonian, kind of done in the same way. Um, I think if I had a fire in my house, I can run in and um, retrieve a number of albums. This would be part of it. I wouldn't even retrieve my Beatle collection because I know that I can run out and replace them, but these are not as replaceable as easy. I got it took a number of years to get these. I just kind of gradually, oh, this looks interesting and all that. And once I had three, I said, when I see more, I'm just going to seek them all out and get a nice collection. They are all in excellent playing condition. The covers are excellent. So whoever had these albums took really good care of them. Probably didn't play them that much. They were probably part of the national or member of the National Geographic Society and got the magazine, and maybe the record was part of the package. So very, very nicely put together. Let me see how much time we got. Okay, we're on 21 minutes. I wanted to play a little piece of music, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to see if I can look it up, see for any chance if it's online, I'll put it as a link, okay? So thrift store vinyl buying, if you have eclectic taste in your music and you can go outside the box, you can find some very, very cool things. One other thing I want to show you before signing off, it's kind of related, and these are on CDs. I'm just pulling out the box set. For $1, I found this at a thrift store. What it is, it's a 3 CD set of reenacted Civil War music. And so you have songs of that time, and about songs about the war. Gifted into the Army, the Southern's chant of defiance. The Bonnie Blue Flag, Stonewall Jackson's Way, Booth Killed Lincoln, Roll Jordan Roll, Beautiful Dreamer. Anyway, this is I love the album, the box cover there. Good artwork, and this one really comes with a nice book. It's a 3 CD set, of pictures, text, the whole works. And I would call it, you heard of Civil War reenactments. Well, this is a reenactment in a form of the music of that time. And it's well done. Because this was not put together for mass, consumer consumption. It was, they remained true to the music and that era, and put to be like a musical documentary. And I also got this. This is a CD and put out by Smithsonian. It has booklets, 40 CD sets of classic folk music throughout the history. Okay, so you have everybody from Paul Robeson, Henry McCulloch, just really names that people who know their folk music, and down to Steve Goodman, Joan Baez. There's even a Simon Garfunkel song on here. So anyway, I just wanted to show that off, and I'll be doing other such videos. I really enjoyed these recordings. It's nice to just sit back at night when I'm by myself and I'm surfing the net, and I wanted something nice to listen to in the background, and that has a historical significance, a roots. So I really enjoy these. Thank you so much for watching, and for you people who do go to thrift stores, if you see any of these records, and they're real cheap, $1, maybe $2, and they're in good playable condition, which they usually are, pick them up. You may enjoy them, and it's cheap too. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good day. Bye.